In this lesson, I will show you another extrusion tool. This tool is called swept boss base. With this tool, you can extrude a 2D profile along a curve. You can also set some guides if you want to gain more control over the final shape of the object. In the open document, I have created a sketch on the top plane and I have also created a hexagon. Then I created another sketch on the front plane and there I drew a line which is perpendicular to the hexagon's center. The hexagon is the profile that will be extruded and the line will be the path of the extrusion. Now I will activate the Swept Boss Base tool from the Features ribbon. Once I activate the tool, the Property Manager palette activates automatically. With the profile field active, I will click on the hexagon. Once I do, the corresponding sketch is added in the profile field and the path field activates automatically. Now with the path field active, I will click on the line and once I do, a preview appears. If I want to extrude the profile and at the same time twist this profile, all I have to do is go to the Options area, expand the Profile Twist list and select the Specify Twist Value option. With the Degrees option selected in the Twist Control list, I will go right below in the Direction 1 field. I will type the number 45 and I will press Enter. Once I do, the preview changes accordingly. I will click on the check mark to create the final solid. Notice the final result. At this point, I will open another document to show you how you can also add guides to control the extrusion better. In this document, I created a sketch on the top plane and then I drew an ellipse. Then I created two more sketches on the front plane. In the first sketch, I drew a line perpendicular to the center of the ellipse, and on the second sketch, I created a spline which starts from the quadrant of the ellipse. The 2D profile that will be extruded is the ellipse. The path will be the line, and the spline will be the guide of the extrusion. Now let's move on to see what that means practically. I will activate the Swept Boss Base tool from the Features ribbon. With the profile field active, I will select the ellipse. With the path field active, I will select the line. Once I selected the path, a preview appeared. Now I will activate the Guide Curves field and I will select the spline. Notice how differently the profile is extruded. I will click on the check mark to create the final object. Now I will go to the Feature Manager design tree and I will click on the Sweep feature. Then I will select the Edit feature option. The Property Manager palette activates again and I can make changes to this extrusion. For example, I will go to the Guide Curves field, select the sketch 4 and delete it. Now we'll click on the check mark again and notice that the elliptical profile was extruded straight along the line. Now, when we use guides, there is always a possibility that Solidworks will not be able to create the extruded feature. To understand better what I mean, let's move on to an example. I will go to the Feature Manager design tree, I will expand the Sweep 1 feature, and I will press Delete. In the message that appears, I will select Yes. Then I will click on the front plane and I will activate the Sketch tool. I will create an arc on the other side of the ellipse and I will add this arc to the guides. So I will activate the 3-point arc tool from the Sketch ribbon and I will draw an arc which will start at the opposite quadrant of the ellipse and it will have the same height with the spline. Now I will deactivate the arc tool and I will exit the sketch. Now I will activate the Strip Boss Base tool again and I will select the ellipse to specify the profile that will be extruded. Then I will select the line to specify the path of the extrusion. Last but not least, I will activate the Guide Curves field and I will select the arc. Notice that the preview appears. This means that the profile can be extruded following the selected path and the guide curve. Now we'll click on the spline on the opposite corner to add it in the Guide Curves field too. However, notice that the preview disappears. Now if I click on the check mark on the top of the Property Manager palette, an error message appears informing me that Solidworks cannot extrude the profile using both guides. So in this case, I have to create another profile or remove a guide. In this example, I will simply click on Close to cancel the operation, and I will move on to show you another example. The Strip Boss Base tool is very convenient when we want to create pipes. So I will open another document where I have already created a circle on the top plane and an arc on the front plane. Now I will activate the Strip Boss Base tool. I will select the circle to define the profile that will be extruded, and then I will select the curve to specify the path. Now I will activate the Thin Feature option and I will select the One Direction option from the list. Notice that now I have created a hollow object. I will click on the Reverse Direction button and I will specify its thickness to 3 mm. Now we'll click on the check mark and I will orbit the view to show you the result. Notice how easily I created a pipe. At this point, I should mention that once you activate the Thin Feature while you're creating a solid, it cannot be undone while you edit the feature. So this was how the Strip Boss Base tool works. I suggest that you create your own solids to become more familiar with this tool.